DL Trader here with today's trade recap, Tuesday 7th of May. No recap yesterday, I was just one small paper cut loss, so didn't warrant doing the recap, just thought I'd relax. But today a little bit more action, definitely a lot more mistakes, not happy at all with my trading today. So I'm going to run over the trades and just discuss what I think I did wrong, and just got to try and progress. This is tough, I'm lacking that sort of breakthrough, still making lots of mistakes, and unless I can get rid of them, I'm just not really gonna start to progress. So that's one of these reasons for these trade recaps, is so I can relive the trade once the emotion's out of the way, really look at it, focus in, relive my mistakes, and in an attempt to avoid them in the future. So the first ticker, I took 3 tickers today. The first one was SUNW. Now SUNW, the reason I caught this on the gap up scanner in the morning, looked at the daily chart, and it got me interested. It's that kind of, it's that typical pump and dump type pattern. That's the word I'm looking for. Just felt like it was starting to get overextended, and that caught my attention to potentially short into any push and then get that big, first red day. So kind of went at it a little bit wrong with that home run mentality, and you end up trading with the blinkers on. I mean, it's opened up, it's gapped up very small. It's testing these pre-market highs, but it's not really done anything yet. I mean, there's no real reason for me to be shorting in here, expecting this big tank, which is what my mind was telling me. So the entry, the thought process on my entry was I was letting it rip, trying to be really patient. I saw this rejection, pull back, and then it tested that high of day again, and I felt like it put a big stuff move in because it had a big pullback. And dropped even further. So what I did was short pretty heavy into that move, thinking it would reject again high of day and go on down lower. So I got 3/4 of a size on. I was realizing it was a bit of a chase, so I wanted to just wait, got the final ad on up here, and set my risk above that high of day. Now I didn't want to set my risk too tight. I just felt like I was going to be stuffed out, and only to see, this pattern here play out. So I set that stop just above high of day, and it pretty much top ticked that stop. Now that was really annoying to me because I felt like if I didn't get back in, I would have missed the move. So big pullback again, so got short again, added more, risking high of day, and it played around and then popped up, took out my stop again. Now once again I sort of had a similar feeling. I was like, well, maybe this is the top, and I've been just stuffed out once more, so I got short again, risking high of day, and then this time felt like it was going to drop, this sort of line in the sand, so got the ads on for the move lower, and it popped up, and this time I took a stop much quicker. I didn't want to take another stop up here. Felt like if it didn't break down under this line, it wasn't going to, so stopped out there. So 3 losses, which add up over time. Now when I find myself in these positions and I'm seeing the sells here and the buys here, the sells here and the buys here, I know it's a bad sign. I'm trading wrong, I'm trading the wrong way around. I'm selling when I should be buying, I'm buying when I should be selling. I've got to be waiting for those rips to get short into, particularly this one, for that move lower. So just something to be aware of, and after the first one, maybe just leave it alone. So instead I stacked up three losers. The price action on this one was pretty weird. It did feel like a tank could come at any point. Felt like it was being propped up. It was very jumpy. It never really went above this high of day, never broke $2, and then in the afternoon we did have a massive wash. So perhaps I was right with the idea of this one, but poor execution. So my goal going into tomorrow is to avoid these stupid chase shorts. I got to wait for a good rip, wait for the top out and then short for the backside. So SNUW. Next trade was, let's have a look, RTTR. So RTTR, I traded this one yesterday for a tiny loss here. I got short into this rip, covered some into the wash, and then actually just stopped out on that, which was a bit annoying because it would have been a good trade covering down here. Anyway, so kind of had it on my radar. It popped up on the Momo scanner today. Saw this rip up here and top out, but left it alone. It wasn't up enough. And then it made this other move higher. And as it's started to top here, I just got a bit more conviction on the trade that it couldn't break this high. So got short, scaled in, took half, was it a half or a quarter? No, a half off into the wash. Watch it try and bounce, put in this big wick here. So I felt like it couldn't bounce, so I got the ad back on, because I'm always really keen to get back up to size with the winners. And then set my stop just above here, which luckily didn't trigger on that pop. Covered some into the wash here and then was patient with the rest. I had to leave the screens. Took the kids out to see a Lion King show, so had to trade from my phone. Set my, after I took this part off, was comfortable with my stops, just left it alone, and then got back on the check the trade end of day. Took a big portion off here and then the rest out here. So trade worked out okay. Partly the reason for this one is I was good with the entry. I wasn't shorting in here like on SNUW, risking high of day. I was waiting for that push, shorting into the strength and then scaling in when it couldn't go higher. So for me, this was a better trade for that reason, and also stuck to my process, half off, half on, patient with the rest. So RTTR reduced my losses for the day quite nicely. And the only other trade I got was ATAI. So ATAI, got it on the Momo scanner, big rip up, got nice entry. I think this one was first, then I got the ad. And then another ad. Missed this wash just here, and after it started to grind back up, I made sure to get that half off. And then the mistake here, so this line is resistance from the daily, picked up that daily resistance there, that candle there, I believe. Yeah, that's what I was playing off. So my kind of mistake here is I've scaled in correctly, missed the wash, which is slightly annoying, but made sure I get some off, which is good, because if it does go higher, I'm reducing the losses. And then a little bit quick with that ad. I saw this sort of potential top here for a move lower, but it did pop much higher. Now, I think what I've got to do is, if I am adding here, I've got to pull the risk down, because otherwise I'm effectively taking that big move as a loser. So either be a bit more patient for the ad or reduce the risk. You can always get back in on that next rip up. That'd be a much more way to go about it. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with these, if I'm doing these shitty ads and it does go back to test high day, I'm going to end up taking some bigger than I like losses. So that's ATAI. Notable other tickers which I didn't trade. ARCI in the morning. I was waiting in the morning for a rip, got this one. I actually put an order in. Let me check. Orders. ATAI, short side. Sorry, not ATAI. ARCI. Yes, I had an order in at 5.37. Which is here. I didn't get a fill, and left it alone. Didn't chase it. One thing I noticed myself doing here is wasn't willing to take the trade into this push here. I was waiting for it to top out. It topped out, pulled back, and then I'm trying to get in. I missed the move as it went low, and also at this point I've got pretty poor risk reward. I mean, I'm much better off shorting up into strength than waiting for the top and then the pullback, because then you miss that entry. The only thing about shorting into the rip, obviously, is you have to be much better at cutting losses, because they can rip hard and keep going and make for massive losses. But a little bit more shorting into the rip when you've got some form of resistance is going to, I think, help me a little bit going into tomorrow. Next trade didn't take, CYTR. Pick this one up just because it just goes to show that it's not about how much it's up, it's about the pattern. This one, let's draw it again. This is playing out as per my plan. Short the rip, cover the wash, add back on the bounce, pulling the risk down as you go and let the rest ride. Did become a bit illiquid after the initial move, but it's the pattern I'm looking for. As is ARCI, rip, down. This one didn't get a bounce, but covering down here at EMAs. Anyway, that's it for today. Looking for some improvements tomorrow. Not happy with this week's trading so far. There's not that much action around, not much liquidity, not much volatility, so hopefully we'll get some more towards the end of the week. Okay, that's all. Cheers.